So when I looked on your Instagram bio, your bio says where you come to find peace with your body. Mm-hmm. So what led to this becoming your niche, like lack of a better word? And was this your initial goal when you first became a PT? And if not, how did you get here?
Definitely wasn't my initial goal. Mm-hmm. So I think the whole reason, and I think it's the case with so many trainers or people in this industry, where the thing that you struggle with the most initially is the thing that you kind of full circle come back to being your niche.
Okay.
Or being the thing that you're most passionate about helping people with. Mm-hmm. Because I had a really bad relationship with my body, and that probably started, I don't think I realized how early that started until I reflect on it, but I think it was maybe 14.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. So I had a whole journey through the later part of my teens into my 20s where my body image got worse and worse. And I also had an eating disorder.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was weird because it was born out of a sense of trying to gain control in a part of my life when everything else felt like it was out of control. So it was the thing that I could, the thing that I had most say over, basically. And then it turned into something that was more about my body.
Okay.
So perfectionist tendencies, people pleaser, all of that stuff, I think creates this perfect storm. And then when you're an adolescent and going through that transition, you become so aware of your body. Mm-hmm. So sometimes that becomes the thing that you hyper focus on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So actually when I started PTing, it was born from a place of kind of how else can I control my body that's not, how can I understand my body better so that I can control it more?
Okay.
So it was actually not from a place of, although it's turned into something really positive, it didn't start that way.
Yeah. So would you say that reflection from where you came from is how you've then been like, I actually want to turn this around and help other people find that peace because you feel like you didn't have that peace for a really long time?
Definitely. And then I don't think I realized that I knew it was a problem, but I didn't realize that the things that I was then doing that I thought had been helpful were actually helping me double down on some of the more unhelpful behaviors.
Do you have an example?
I mean, the first one that comes to mind is just overtraining.
Yeah.
Just making training my whole personality or my whole identity to the point where it was impossible to feel like a rest was something that was okay to take, doing 2 sessions a day, feeling completely battered, but ignoring the signs my body needed rest.
Okay.
Because I was so determined to push through it.
Yeah.
Because I thought that was like a badge of honor.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
What do you feel like is the pivot moment where you were then like, I'm now like, it's almost like a brand image change where you're like, I'm now going to be this person that you go to when you do want to find peace in your body. Like, do you have a significant memory or?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if there was one moment, but I do remember, and this wasn't like part of the rebrand, the sort of external rebrand, but more the internal rebrand when I started coaching with Becca with the ET PhD team. And I was like, I got into it and I didn't really want to do it because it was going to be I felt like it was going to be really challenging to face up to some of these things. And the things that I was doing, I believed, were serving me.
Yeah.
They were helping me stay at a particular body weight, shape, size, whatever. So, and this is a really common myth or misconception with starting work on body image is that you're going to let yourself go. I was really scared that I was going to let myself go, put on weight. And that to me was the most terrifying idea.
Okay.
Which is why I knew that I had to do it because I didn't want to go through my whole life feeling scared of putting on weight or
Or
my
just
body.
relaxing a little bit from training.
Yeah, exactly. Letting go of some of that stuff and just focusing on other things, like creating space in my life for other activities, other hobbies, because you're like, oh, fitness is my hobby, but what else? There's so many other things you can do. So that was kind of like the internal rebrand.
Yeah.
And then I think it took me a little while to get to a point where I felt like, okay, maybe I can start helping people with this same thing.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes, and I don't know if you've been here yourself, it feels like if you've struggled or you are still having challenges with a thing, who are you to then help other people with that thing?
Oh, yeah. No, I totally get
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that was me. And that's, I mean, I have those days now because it's such a big thing and I feel like it's so important and there's so much to it that I never want to put anyone in jeopardy by not knowing.
I understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think my external rebrand started when I did Shannon B's Body Image Fundamentals.
Yeah.
So I went to uni, got a master's in coaching psychology, went to Scotland. And in Scotland, because work was a little bit slow, like gym work was a little bit slow, I was like, what can I do to put myself in a better position for when I come back or the next step? And then I did lots of research and I saved up and I was like, I'm going to do this course. And that, the science behind coaching people through body image struggles was a game changer.
Okay.
So if anyone either, I mean, not even a coach, but like just an individual looking to understand a little bit more about the processes behind, highly recommend, amazing course. Okay. And I was like, okay, now I have some kind of structure I can put into place. I know how to coach. And now I can put a little bit of the science and structure behind helping people through that process. So it was probably only, last year that I said, okay, maybe I can do this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's taken a long time to get here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you always love your training? Or do you sometimes fall out of love with it?
I was talking to Jackie about this, but I think when I'm in comp mode, it's harder to train because you know that the intensity is going to be so intense. So mentally, if you're not feeling the best, you still have to be like, well, I got to lift this this amount today.
Yeah.
I'm competing and whenever.
Because you're usually signed up for something, hey.
Yeah. But now, because it's a new coach and new program and I'm learning so much, I'm actually just so excited every week.
Good. I love that feeling of just being excited for your sessions because you're learning so many new things.
Yeah.
And you can't always be in that phase. But it's so good.
But because he's so different and specialized, there's like every exercise I'm thinking about like 1,000 cues.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be fun for a while.
Do you ever struggle when you're starting new exercises with that beginner mentality, or do you really love it?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, okay.
I think like you'll see me laughing at the gym to myself when I'm trying things because I'm like, can't wait to see what Dennis thinks about this.
And you film just about everything for him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've uploaded it to my Google Drive.
That's so good.
What is the difference between body neutrality and body positivity, if there is a difference?
Okay, yeah, there's a lot of conversation about that at the moment. And I would say I'm probably not the very best person to ask. I feel like I don't know enough to give a proper answer, but the discussion around it is that if you have a negative body image, then some people argue that you want to be aiming for body neutrality because a positive body image doesn't feel like it's accessible.
Right.
Okay.
It's too much of a turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then the other part of that discussion is that body neutrality is not good enough. We should be aiming for a positive body image, and there's no reason why it's not accessible to everyone. So you got the people who think that it's the next step in the right direction on the continuum towards positive body image.
Right.
Or that's where that's
like
where
body neutrality is the end goal.
Yeah, you can just end there and that's fine. And then there's people on the other side of the discussion saying we should be aiming higher than that. People deserve more than just to feel neutral about their body.
Or completely detached, if anything.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's a detachment. It's just my body is fine. You know, it is what it is. Yeah. And a positive body image is gratitude and appreciation and respect for what the body can do. And there are a couple of different parts of a positive body image. But yeah, the people who are saying that neutrality is not good enough think that positive body image is accessible to everyone. It's just a matter of doing the work.
Yeah.
Doing the right work.
Okay. Yeah. You said there's different aspects of positive body image.
Yes.
Is there a way for you to summarize?
Yeah, so there are three main parts. Body appreciation, functionality appreciation, and body image flexibility. Okay. So those are the main three components of a positive body image. Yeah.
Got you.
Which is different to a negative body image. They're not just you either have a negative or you have a positive. They're two different things.
Is there,
makes sense.
What would you say the aspects of a negative body image are?
Great question. Things like high levels of comparison, fear of gaining weight, body checking, when you sort of check in the mirror constantly to see aspects of your body avoidance, so avoiding situations completely because, and I know, so many of my clients are like this where they won't do something because they don't want their bodies to be viewed or they're worried about
like going to the beach.
Yeah, or going to the gym.
Yeah. Wearing a specific outfit.
Yeah. Going shopping.
To try and
like avoiding going shopping because of how it makes them feel.
Yeah. Okay.
So those are all aspects of that highlight a negative body image.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that if you have some of those thoughts, you don't have a positive body image. It's just what you do when you have those things come up. It's how you respond to them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it possible to accept your body as it is, but also have physique-based goals? Like, can these things coexist?
I think they can, but I think the acceptance, the body acceptance, because they're kind of contradicting.
Yeah.
Because body acceptance means that you're fine with your body.
Yeah.
Having physique goals means that you want to change your body.
Yes.
But I don't think that wanting to change your body means that you don't have a positive relationship with your body.
Okay.
It's okay to want to change your body, and it doesn't necessarily mean you have a negative body image. But I'd say oftentimes people want to change their body because they don't feel happy about their body.
Right.
And it's not about the physique goal. It's more about the reason behind it.
So that's why I do want to ask, like, what questions do you ask a client when they do tell you they're thinking about wanting to really focus on something physique based, whether it's just gaining more muscle or the usual, fat loss?
Yeah. So this is something that I'm doing more of now that I hadn't done before last year, and now realize then how often we were I was working with clients towards physique-based changes, even if it's under the guise of I want to feel better.
Yes.
And oftentimes that comes back to, I want to look better and then I'll feel better.
Yeah.
And then realizing that actually there's still a lot of body image work to do there. So the questions now, and this was part of the training that I did last year, it's when you take someone new on, you explore how important appearance is to them. And the more important it is to someone, the more that sort of raises some more questions that you want to explore. Because an overvaluation of appearance, sort of prioritizing appearance above most else, kind of gives you the indication that that there's some body image stuff going on, that people are attaching a lot of their self-worth to how they look. And that's a bit of a flag that you want to explore. And that's really common. Because we're taught that from such a young age that, we need to care a lot about how we look in that sort of, and I don't want to say especially females, but especially females.
Yeah.
I mean...
And we can say that because it's our only experience.
Exactly.
So it feels that way.
It does feel that way, which is, I mean, and maybe not all females for sure, but yeah, we're taught that the way that we present ourselves is really important. Yeah, it's embedded in our culture.
Yeah. So it turns out this client, maybe there isn't that much of an attachment between the two.
Yeah.
How do you go about, getting them towards their physique-based goal and making sure that the process is a self-compassionate one?
Oh, that's so good.
Especially with people thinking PTs are only for accountability, and we're all well known for check-ins and, the meaning attached to a check-in.
Yeah, absolutely. I think having them doing exploration around the goal itself and having them understand really why, what they want to get out of it and why it's meaningful to them.
Yeah.
And then also making sure the process is not, we're not sort of playing into some of those grey areas, but also there's, things that feel controversial, like MyFitnessPal and tracking calories and things. If you have a performance goal or an aesthetic goal, and that person has a good relationship with that, and their relationship with food isn't a little bit murky, then a tool like that can just really be super objective.
Okay.
So I think it really depends on the person, but you've just got to monitor the process and just see, explore some of the beliefs that they have along the way, some of the things that come up, whether they're exhibiting like a lack of compassion or some all or nothing behaviours, or being, really critical of the things that maybe they didn't do that week. But I'm not often training people or coaching people to a really specific body composition outcome.
Okay.
So the process is a lot less severe and rigid.
Right.
So
there's no 12-week cut.
I mean, in all honesty, I wouldn't know how to coach someone through that properly.
Yeah, you said you wanted this before summer. Okay.
You don't want it bad enough, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't work with people like that, but I think it's just allowing flexibility in the process and making sure that people are still living meaningful and fulfilling lives while they're doing those things. Maybe looking into their nutrition or training a little bit harder or whatever it is. So it's all about the process.
So for me, I purposely have tried really hard to detach any type of self-worth to my physique, and like a big source of my confidence comes more from like strength and what I can do. It's like basically my whole brand.
Yeah.
But I'm super aware that one day I won't have this strength, and that honestly, I say that in like, I'm going to get old, but also, maybe one day you get injured or something like that. And I would like to think that if I woke up and couldn't do any of the things that I can do today, I should still feel like I'm enough. But I'm having trouble picturing that.
Yeah.
And I want to know, what can I do to like broaden my sources of self-worth?
Okay. Well, I think that's such a great question. And I love, because how little we think ahead to, what happens, we want to be grateful for what we can do now, basically, and feel really appreciative. It sounds like you are. It sounds like you appreciate what your body's doing for you now, which is amazing.
Because it is, I would say, like at least above average. But what if it was less than that? If I'm quite married to, I'm enough because I can do these things.
Yeah.
But surely I should still have those feelings if I couldn't do those things?
I think it's a really hard thing to ask, because you can do these things. So you're used to being able to do these things. So I think if we wouldn't know how you felt if you weren't able to do these things in the first place, because that you'd still be, let's say you were, average lifting or whatever it was, but you'd still be able to push yourself to the best of your abilities to do this, like to be a little bit better.
So I think relative.
Absolutely, I think it's relative.
Yeah.
But I think anytime we take, for example, an injury, and you've got to sort of come to terms with, if it's a permanent injury, or come to terms with that's not necessarily going to be a part of your life anymore. And I think that part of the aging process, that's probably quite a difficult part of it, is realizing that some of these things aren't going to stick around forever. But like you said, broadening your horizons and looking for other things now so that you build out your identity. Because anytime we put so much emphasis, it's the same with appearance-based stuff, that's going to change as well. So it's the same with putting all our eggs in one basket. I think that becomes then really risky. It's the same with people who work as their identity. I think a lot of trainers and coaches can identify with that.
Any business owner, I'm sure.
Absolutely. And then something happens to that business or your ability to work. And
or you
then
even just want to pivot.
You want to pivot. That might be slightly different because then it's your choice to do so. But if the choice is taken away from you, then you go, well, shit, what do I do now? And I think that's why spreading out and looking for lots of different things to fill your life. And I'm not talking as the best example because I'm in the middle of doing that myself, because I'm starting to realize that I don't have enough variety in my life to sort of fill my cup. So I'm increasing the risk if something happens to one of those areas in my life that are taking up most space. So explore all the things. Variety is so important to self-esteem, confidence, all of that stuff. And then that obviously impacts how you feel about your body and what your body can do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask then, what have you been doing to explore, or the things you are exploring, how did you get to that?
So I'm struggling at the moment because it's definitely something I'm in the middle of and not something that I'd say absolutely I'm there yet, because a lot of my go-to activities are still physical.
Okay.
And I think that's a challenge with anyone who's a physically active person.
I'm the same.
The easiest thing to go to resort to.
Yeah.
So, for example, I tell you that I've just started playing social netball, but that's a physical activity.
No, I get you. Okay.
But then for me, because I used to play the violin when I was grown up.
Okay.
I played it all through school, so it'd be maybe like a musical endeavor or something. But I think these things have to be laid in at the right time, and obviously, limited time, and you've got to choose what you want to invest in. But it's also, some of the resistance there for me is putting myself outside my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And you kind of know if you're doing that you're moving in the right direction. To that question you said before, just understanding as early as possible that things will change, things won't always be the same, and how can you broaden your horizons to find meaning in lots of different areas, not just relying on the one skill set.
I think we're similar in that, I feel like maybe this time last year and up to now, I'm trying to find hobbies beyond movement-based things.
So what have you found then?
I tried pottery and I hated it. I have been liking doing paint by numbers just as a fun thing with friends.
Yeah.
Rather than going on a hike or whatever. I'm cool, let's try paint by numbers.
Yep.
I also am really keen on, I've been learning Spanish, but I'm trying to find something where it's also not based on how good I am, because it's still quite stimulating. It's very mental. If I do a Spanish class before bed, I'm still
buzzing. The mental energy. That's a really cool skill to have though.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find hobbies that I feel aren't building my self-worth because it's an extra skill I have.
Yes. It's not based in personal development or how can I be better? I
have.
So we did a paint and sip the other week, and I'll send you her Instagram because it was so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
And this is great on the positive body image theme as well.
Yeah.
Because you send a photo of you either in the nude or just undies or whatever to this woman. She's legit, I promise, but it feels weird because you're basically DMing her a nude of you.
Yeah. You're getting this for free. Actually, I'm paying you.
I'm paying you for this. for this privilege. And then she puts your body onto a canvas and then you paint it. And then you have this beautiful picture that you've painted of your body to take home with you. And it was so much fun.
I would do that with like a handstand though. Is that allowed?
A naked handstand.
Just strut out.
She said she's had some really close-up ones before. I don't know.
Oh my God.
But you could absolutely, whatever kind of makes you feel confident and comfortable and whatever.
Yeah.
And then, you have a painted picture of yourself forever and ever.
How does someone become more resilient to triggers that might deflate the work they're doing or have done with their body confidence? Because I can understand that there's only so many triggers that you have control over eliminating. And I'm assuming total elimination isn't the point anyway.
Yes. Okay, that's such a great question. Can I sit here?
Oh my goodness, yes.
So you're right. You can't eliminate the triggers. Life is full of them. It's especially tough when you've grown up in Sydney because you think that's normal and you're seeing sort of such a small subsection of the population that look exactly the same that you go, I need to look like this. If I don't look like this, what am I doing wrong? Don't understand.
Because the norm is that. Or you think, that's
exactly.
what you're supposed to.
So we don't need to remove triggers to be okay. And that's where body image flexibility comes in. And it's a big part of it is, number one, understanding what your triggers are, reflecting on times where you felt particularly dissatisfied with your body when otherwise, you're going through your day and all of a sudden you feel a certain way about your body and you're like, well, why is this happening? You know, what is it in my environment or my situation that's setting me off? But it also can be, hormones play such a big part in how we feel about our bodies, how much how we feel about our bodies fluctuates over the month is wild. My worst body image days are the day before my period. And then maybe the day my period starts. And then after that, I feel absolutely fine. And it's not even the bloating that's doing it. It's internally the narrative changes. So understanding your triggers, number one.
Okay.
And then number two, knowing how, or having sort of a toolbox of how to respond differently to those triggers and then practicing a different response. You have to know that it's going to happen first or where you're most susceptible, and then you can work on how you relate to those feelings and understand that those feelings are not facts, because if we fuse to those thoughts that we're having, they become reality. Like we have a thought and, for example, day before my period, I'm like, I feel so disgusting or I feel really fat, and I fuse to that and then it turns into my reality. That's like, that then becomes real. So practicing cognitive diffusion where you're able to notice your thoughts, you understand why they're happening, and then you can practice a more compassionate response to then, rather than like trying to force, no, you're amazing, you look fantastic, all of that sort of kind of toxic positivity. You can go, okay, I understand why I'm feeling this way. I can let it happen. I can let it pass through, but I don't have to hold on to it as truth.
Okay, I like that.
So it's happening, we're letting it happen because we can't control that necessarily. We let it pass through and then it's gone.
Okay,
so then it's not, you are not your thoughts and your thoughts are not necessarily the truth. Kind of wild that our thoughts are things that we think are not. We know the really obvious things that aren't true. But there are also things that we deeply, deeply believe that are not true.
If someone's having a negative body image day, what are some things they could do in the moment to shift towards a better mindset?
The way that I would answer that is you want to be doing the work outside of those negative body image days so that you have tools to go when you're experiencing that. And I would say what we just spoke about, the body image flexibility, practicing that. You basically don't want to be practicing for the first time when you're having a negative body image day.
Okay.
So
you got to have that toolbox ready to go.
Yeah, exactly. So you develop the toolbox outside of those moments so you have it ready when they do happen. So I would ask you sort of, what are the things that you know make you feel most like yourself when you're having a hard time?
Okay.
Do you have things that you know that you can go to go, okay, I'm having a bad day. What makes me feel most like me? What helps me reconnect with myself? Do you have some go-to things that you use? Me?
What do I do to reconnect with myself? I don't think I have. This is maybe a bit embarrassing to.
No, I don't think it is at all. I think it's really common.
If I'm having a bad body image day, I don't really know.
Not even a bad body image day, but like even if you're having a good day and you go, I want to do something good for myself. What are your go-tos? Do you have?
Oh no. I get what you mean. I think when I'm having maybe a bad day in that way, where I feel like I'm being really down on myself. I don't know if this is a good thing, but I like to get something done on my to-do list. Because to me, I'm like, whatever happens today, at least you did what you said you were going to do. Whether it's like, at least you got your step count in, or you did your grocery shopping for the day, or you did all the programs that you said you were going to do.
Yeah. Because
then at least like whatever I feel about myself in that day, at least the next day or me at the end of the week will be like, you got it done.
That is such a compassionate way to treat yourself though, because that's exactly, it speaks to a respect for your future self. You are doing things that align with what you want, regardless of how you feel in the moment. And that's such a big part of that is doing the things, acting compassionately, which doesn't mean giving yourself the easy way out, but compassionate. Being compassionate means doing the hard thing regardless of how you feel. Sorry, that's not the only thing that means, but it's a part of a compassionate response.
Okay.
Is acting in alignment while experiencing discomfort, which is what you're speaking to. So you're not being productive for productivity's sake. You're going, if I get outside and I do my steps, then I'm going to feel better. I know that I'm going to feel better. Or if I do my grocery shopping, I'm going to have food for later so I can eat some yummy food and feel better. That's all self-care and that's all compassion. So I think that's amazing. I think that's absolutely what I try to work on with clients, is to help them get to that place where they can take those actions regardless of whether they're having a bad body image day.
Very validating. Thank you.
Amazing. They're really good. Did you teach yourself that? Has that always been you, or is that a learned thing?
I think it's a learned thing as an adult who lives on my own.
Okay.
Because I would say if I was having a bad day, it's so easy to not even just like go to, when I lived with housemates or with my family, like it wasn't that I'd go to them and vent. It'd just be like, let's just do something fun.
Yeah.
Whereas I've been living on my own since like for 4 years now. So when I am having a bad day, it's just been learning how to learning to make myself feel better in that instant. Because obviously like I can call up a friend or something like that. But, you know, my friends work different hours, or maybe I just don't want to have to keep calling them.
And outsourcing it all the time.
Yeah. So but I also not really lucky. Like to me, I'm like, come on, man. Like you can just drive to the beach. It's like 15 minutes away.
Yeah.
Go outside, do this, do that. So that, and also having the experience of like, if I do go fuck it, I'm just going to bed rot. Then it ends up being like, not only do I feel bad about myself, but then I went to bed late and then I'm going to feel bad the next day.
Yeah.
But that's experiences I've had.
Yes.
And ones I want to avoid.
Yeah.
So learned experience, I would say.
I think everyone has to have an element of learning that way, because then you realize what you want and what you don't want, what makes you feel good, and the difference between that instant or immediate gratification, but also what just like a day in the future. How do you want to feel like tomorrow or the next day? And what is the domino effect of, you know, making this one choice that might make you feel good right now? Maybe it's a bed rot, maybe it's a Netflix binge, and maybe that has no other consequence. But maybe, you know, tomorrow you're going to wake up late and not get your training session in, or not have time to do whatever it is that's important to you. And then it compounds. So it sounds like you know what makes you feel good, and that's almost a non-negotiable most of the time, because obviously we're all human and things happen. We all have Netflix.
Sometimes a bed rot day is great.
Exactly.
Yeah. You can't pick it, but
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
So I think this stuff is quite hard to talk about because most people want to project like a happier version of themselves or find it hard to talk about body image being a struggle, even to their own PTs or even to their closest friends. What would you say to someone who wants to talk about it with their PT, their partner, their friends, their family, but they're scared or nervous to bring up, what people might judge them for?
I think firstly, it's funny because, and that's a great reminder, that question, because I talk about it so much that I forget that it can be hard to talk about. Not that I forget that it's hard to talk about, but I forget that people don't talk about it.
I guess from personal experience, I feel like I would find it hard to talk about because I feel like, come on, man, like we're all adults. We should be over the body image thing at this point.
Oh, yes.
Or
yes.
I'm a PT. I shouldn't feel this way. So I can't tell you that I feel this way.
There's so many good reasons as a PT, especially to feel that way, because your body is, or you're taught that your body is such a big part of your business.
Yeah.
It's also, does amazing things, but people are often looking at our bodies. And I'm sure you've had comments before about, oh my gosh, how amazing your body is. And like, I wish I had that body and things like that. So it reinforces the message that your body is really important.
Yeah.
And how your body looks is important. What was the thing that you said just before?
The question?
You said something else over there that I was going to answer.
Yeah. Like, what would you say to someone who is who's nervous about bringing up these issues? Because there's also, I feel like from the outside looking in, I do feel like a lot of my friends are quite body positive, and they're not in the fitness industry. So I feel like it's a trivial problem sometimes.
That's what I was going to speak to.
Yeah.
Is we're all adults here.
Yeah.
We should be past this.
Mm-hmm.
But why? Why should we, when we're in such an appearance-focused time in the, everything is sort of geared towards appearance. It's impossible to avoid thinking about how we look. So how on earth do we expect ourselves to just get over it, to just move on? That's like quite a critical voice. And I think a lot of us have that when we go, we should just be past this. So then and I've definitely been guilty of this in different ways, just shutting myself down and going, just get on with it. Just feel these things and just get on with it. And then we push this stuff down and pretend like it's not even there, and it comes out in different ways.
Yeah. And then one day you're just crying in the change room.
And then it hits you all of a sudden and you're like, where did this come from? And then you're unprepared to handle it. And that's definitely work on the compassionate self is important there, to allow yourself to not be over it, because it's a very real thing that we all struggle with. And back to your original question, I think number one, pick the person who you feel most comfortable with.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't necessarily mean they're your PT or they're a professional. It might just be the first conversation you have is with a friend going, hey, I'm having these thoughts about my body. Like, can you think of the person that you would be most likely to go to have that conversation? Is it a friend? Is it a coach? Who would it be for you?
Oh, it would definitely have been like my uni friends are probably like my closest friends. So I always feel like it's a safe space. It's actually like when I was being coached by Rob, like I actually found him really, because Rob is so objective that I feel like I can just be like, this is what's going on. And then he is really good at digging into like, why did you stop and consider this? He's just such a third party that it's actually quite comforting.
Yeah.
It's not that deep, or like he is able to pull me out of a spiral because maybe he's so far away from it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you might find that really helpful. Someone else might not, but it's about who you feel comfortable with bringing that stuff to. I think they don't have to be trained in body image to help you kind of come through that a little bit, to just be the sounding board or be the objective third party or something. It's definitely an act of bravery to talk about it. And let's acknowledge that, because, we all want to be confident and our best selves and like not worry about a thing and just be like, I don't care how I look, or I look great or whatever. But definitely there's aspects of my life, my body image is just so much better. I sometimes can't believe how far I've come. But then there are other aspects of my life that I'm still developing confidence. So sometimes admitting that you're not confident in an area you think you should be is like the biggest act of bravery. And let's acknowledge that.
Is there anything you're excited about right now? Whether it's career, training, personal life, anything?
I think there's a lot that I want to do personally and professionally that makes me excited, also makes me nervous. And I think that's a good thing. I had my little first taste of a workshop last week, and that's something that I've always been hesitant to do. And it's been something that I've been working on recently, sort of being less afraid to be seen by people in what I do.
Okay.
And that's been a long time coming. And I think usually I shy away from experiences like that. But having a little taste on Friday, I was like, how cool would it be if this was part of my business that I did on a more regular basis?
Oh.
Just like some more teaching, not necessarily getting up there and doing these big presentations, but just letting more people know about this stuff. Because I had this moment on Friday where I'm like, this has never been about me. This has always been about the stuff that I've learned that has helped me so much that I want to tell other people about. But then there's that little ego part where you feel scared or nervous to get up and be that person. And I'm like, what if I could be that person? And that's I think it was just a little taste of what I could do. And yeah, I just loved it so much. I was like, this could be really fun.
You're excited to implement your confidence.
I am.
Yes. Okay. Amazing.
I am, absolutely. And it was actually a really lovely moment when I was getting ready in the morning, and when I was struggling with my body image, I would have been really nervous about how I looked. I would have spent all of this time on getting ready specifically for this thing because I was going to be evaluated by people, and putting that time into my appearance would have been so important. And I just got ready like it was a normal day. Yeah, it was a bit of a moment where I was like, I'm here because of the things that I want to teach people. And my body has nothing to do with that in terms of how it looks, but how cool that I can get up and do that and speak to people like that. And that's a cool thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, the other thing that I think is such a basic but important part of life is seeing the world and traveling. Yeah. And I think when my business, after coming back from Scotland, when my business feels a little bit more secure, then traveling will be, and experiences like that will be the next big thing, because there's just too much of the world to not explore as much of it as possible, as you would know, because you've been doing loads of traveling recently.
As soon as I went online, it was like the best part was getting to see all the places that I wanted to see.
Yeah. And connecting with people on the other side of the world. Yeah. There's just so many amazing people out there that it's really cool that your job and your skills and your training can take you all over the world, help you make friends, things like that. So I find that's probably if I could just not work and just do one thing forever, it'd just be like country to country.
Yeah.
So business first. And then that second.
And my last question, I've asked everyone this.
Okay.
How do you want to be remembered?
That's such a big question. Oh my God. How do I want to be remembered, darling? That's such a big question. I think it's less about what I did or how successful I was or whatever, and definitely more based in how I made people feel about themselves. But I want to be remembered as a person who, and how do I summarize this in words? Wait, you tell me first and then I'll go.
How do I want to be remembered?
Yeah, how do you want to be remembered?
No one's asked me this before.
Really? I'm like, you go and then I'll go.
How do I want to be remembered? I think I'd like to be remembered as someone who had a positive impact on someone, in that they were like, I've seen this girl, she just gave it a go.
Yeah.
And she achieved what she wanted to. Yeah. And that makes me unafraid.
Yes.
to go do
Yes.
what I want to do. Because I think so many things that I'm inspired by in the biographies I read is just people having so much passion for something and fighting for it and making it happen.
Yes.
And if my story helps someone else just realize that it's possible, I think that would be, I'd be pretty happy with that.
I mean, I hate to say it, but I think you're already doing that. And I absolutely see that in you. I think that's very cool. You are an example of you can do anything you want to. That is you. That's your story. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I am inspired by people who are brave enough to be vulnerable and open and unapologetically themselves, but not in an arrogant way, this is just me and I know I'm not perfect and I know I do things imperfectly, but similar thing, brave enough to show up anyways. And what I'm doing at the moment is trying to practice that far more often so that I can be that person for other people to want to be that also. Take a little bit of a risk on vulnerability because it feels so nice to kind of step more into in a more honest way who I am and see what happens.
Yeah.
See what comes of that. It just feels really nice to feel safe or to have built the safety in myself or be working on building that internal safety to then be able to show up more myself in the world.
Yeah.
I think vulnerability is the thing that inspires me the most. And that's what I want to do. I want to be vulnerable and open and help other people do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Embrace
Brené
it.
Brown.
Less articulate, but yeah, that vibe.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for your time and your wonderful questions.